I have a major announcement right now. So the whole month is White History Month from now on. Happy White History Month.
It's White History Month. I'm gonna celebrate with my friends. It's White History Month. So be sure to tell everyone. There will always be different months to celebrate. This month's gonna be White History.
Uniting the races with truth instead of dividing them with lies. We're also rebuilding the family by rebuilding the man. I am Jesse Lee Peterson. Good morning. Welcome to the show. Hi, y'all. It's Tuesday again. And you can get involved by calling 888-7753-773. 888-77-JESSE. Jesse. Jesse. And my biblical question, brand new biblical question. It's a doozy for this week. Do you love the emptiness of not knowing who you are? Do you love the emptiness of not knowing who you are? Amazing. We have every way that you can watch and support the show listed on JesseLeePeterson.com/show. JesseLeePeterson.com/show. And if you are out and about, you're running around doing whatever you're doing this morning, this evening, this afternoon, this evening, tonight, early in the morning, because we are heard around the world by everybody and their mama. Time zones are different, so whatever you're doing, if you're not able to sit and watch the show, you're like, well, I'm a podcast. You can podcast all the shows, absolutely, but you could be listening while you're doing whatever it is that you're doing. While you're doing what you're doing, all right? By calling the listen line on TalkStream Live at 605-615-4131. That's 605-615-4131. Amazing. And to donate and have your comments read out loud, go to buymeacoffee.com/JLP Talk. Buymeacoffee.com/JLP Talk or Bond JLP Cash App. Bond JLP Cash App. Happy White History Month, by the way. Happy White History Month. July is White History Month. It's Tuesday, and every Tuesday is Country and Western Tuesday. Bring back, oh, bring back my country to me. Bring back my country to me. What the? Who let the dogs out? Woo. Amazing. My country is not coming back. Sorry. But when I say sorry, meaning that is reality. America is no longer and will no longer be America again. Now, in your mind, you can fake it. You can pretend it's America, but that's not reality. The mind is never reality. America is gone. And unfortunately, there it's been set up where it can never come back. And it's being ignored in the real way that it's set up. Because if we dealt with the real way it's being set up, all the other things around it could not be happening. It could not be happening. But it's amazing to me to see the real deal being ignored. And what happened is they are changing the order, reversing the order of life. They are reversing the order of life by, I want to say, forcing men out of positions of life, but you can't say that. The men are allowing it to happen. The men are not doing anything about it, and so they're turning it all over, handing it over to the women. And the women are like immature children. They have no idea what they're doing, zero idea of what they're doing. And because that order is being changed and deliberately being changed, because if you notice, there's not a lot of conversation about men, what's happening to men. Yeah, they call men weak. They say the men are weak, but they don't say why they're weak. They don't say who is causing them to be weak. Starting in the home with their mothers and grandmothers. And then when they go out into the world, they the system, quote unquote, meaning education system, justice system, the job market, everything is against the men. And they're putting these women in every corner of what's possible. And as a result, it's not going to work. And they know it. They know it's not going to work. And so as a result of the women being put into these positions as so-called leadership, and it's not in the woman's nature to lead, ain't nothing you can do to make a woman's nature lead. It's not there. It's empty. It's like a man in a dress saying that he's a woman, and a woman in a pantsuit says she's a man, but we all know it's still a female. There's nothing in the woman's DNA, period, that can cause her to lead in the right way. It ain't going to happen. It's just not natural. It can't be happening, right? And you saw what happened when they put those women as a part of the Secret Service with the Great White Hope, Donald Trump. Their little fat body was too short to even protect them. They couldn't cover the man up. One lady was so fat, it's been reported that she couldn't even put a gun back in the holster. They're making sure by distracting you with other things, the drag queen things and the transgender things and all those things are happening, but they're only happening because you're putting women in charge. And when a woman is in charge, because women are emotional and can't see, she'll let anything go as long as she can feel something about it. I'm looking at this dumb mayor of L.A., a black female, emotional, dumb, irritating, dumb. And all she focuses on houses for the homeless. And she's always out there when you're pushing that, as though that's something good. But because men, there is an order to life, and that order is not going to work any other way but the order. You can say whatever you want about it. You can call it names if you want. You can try to say, oh, it's from the old time, whatever. Nothing going to work but the order of God in Christ, Christ in man, man over woman, and woman over children. Ain't nothing else going to work. You could switch that order until the cows come home. Women cannot lead. They're going to get to all of your calls in a minute. Just hold on if you. Women cannot lead. They can't lead. Even if they tried, they could not lead. It's not in them. You can't make something happen in human nature that's not there. Women were created to follow. And if you sit back and just watch women in action, it's like a bunch of little kids. They don't know what they're doing. They're fumbling around. Even if they're in the home raising the man's children, unless the man is leading it, meaning directing her in how to do it, she's fumbling around with the children. She doesn't know what to do. She gets frustrated. And so evil working through human beings, because human nature is evil, is making sure that America never come back by putting women in charge. And then there are men who are so blind, some men, they think it's okay, why not have a woman in charge? That's blindness. That's like lost. What kind of man would even agree or consider or think that a woman should be in charge of his life, his family life, government, or anything? What kind of man would think that? You know you got to be blind. So a major trick is played upon society. And you hear women bitching about, well, men shouldn't play in women's sports. You hear men saying the same thing. And so I said, okay, I agree. Should women play in men's sport? 9 times out of 10, not all the time, not all, but more, they say yes. I'm like, well, what's the difference? Well, why should why should men not play in women's sport? Because men are bigger, they're stronger, they can be, okay, that's true. Well, should women play in men's sport? And they go, well, yeah. But what's the difference? Are you saying that the man or men are not stronger or bigger when the women are playing in their sport as they are when men are playing in women's sport? What's the difference? They're afraid to say no, women should not play in men's sport. But not afraid to say men should not play in women's sport. What's the difference? My country is gone. My country is but a memory now of the good old days. Grandpa, tell me about the good old days. It's but a memory. That's all it is now. Everything is a nightmare. Everything else is a nightmare. And it's going to get worse. It's going to get worse. Because if you look at the media, women, the weather reporters, women, and if they do, when you do see a few men, they're all beta. They're so weak. The idea, just the idea that America would consider a female for president of the country is dangerous. The idea of it. Do you know the hell that's going to come upon this country if you put a woman in charge of the country? Look what she's doing to the homes. Look what she's doing to the children. Look what you put women in charge of the school as principals and teachers and things like that without men being over them. Look what's happening. The schools are a mess and a danger to society. You have to have metal detectors to go into the school buildings now because women are in charge and nobody care about the women. Women don't have any authority. The kids doesn't care about what mama got to say at home or in the schools. And you won't admit that that won't work. The reason we get the type of government we got now because women are allowed to vote. And the women vote emotionally. You have Kamala Harris, empty Kamala Harris, the so-called female running for president, representing the Democratic Party, pushing abortion like it's Kool-Aid. Good old grape Kool-Aid or something. And the women love it, especially white women. Kamala Harris is pushing killing the men, children in the womb, and she go and talk to other females about it, and they love it. And yet you leave them in charge. Look what happens in the home when the man is not the light of the family. The house go dark, the kids go dark, the mother go dark. They can't see. Kamala Harris, as you know, running for, and believe me, I want you to know this without a doubt, and you're going to see this as we move forward, if you're not already seeing it. The Democrats and the liberal media pretend to be all giddy and happy. Oh, I could just cry knowing that she's doing it. When I saw her out there, it just made me want to tear up, they say. I just wanted to cry. I was so happy. Oh, my God. I'm just joyful. They're lying. They're not happy at all. Watch their joy turn to tears real soon. They're not happy about Kamala Harris one iota. And it's being reported, and I believe I saw it on Jesse Waters last night, I could be wrong, that Barack Obama did not want Kamala Harris. That according to that report on not Tucker, but Jesse Waters' post there, Joe Biden got upset because they were trying to run him out, Obama and others, and they want Biden supported Kamala Harris to get back at Barack Obama. They were saying that Barack Obama wanted an open thing at the Democratic thing, let the people decide who they wanted. He didn't want Kamala Harris. According to the report, he does not believe she can win. But Joe Biden get back at Barack and say, okay, I support, real fast before Barack had time to think about it, I support Kamala Harris, right? And not a chick. They're not happy about Kamala Harris one iota. That fake joy is fake. It's not real. Anybody got to carry on like that, you know it's not real anyway, by the way. They don't think she has a chance. We're going to wait and see what happens in November because these Democrats are desperate, and desperate people, a desperate person, will do anything. There's no limit to their destruction to get what they want. There's no limit to their revenge. There's no limit to their destruction. Watch out for a desperate person. A desperate person is a dangerous person. And the Democratic Party is a desperate party right now. And they are a dangerous party. And they would do anything to maintain power. Just think about their ego joy they must be feeling in that they have been able to do whatever they want to the American people. Give money to Ukraine while not giving a dime to America. Leaving the border wide open. Helping Ukraine, but they ain't doing nothing for. They even help our country. What the? Kamala Harris on climate change and people not having kids. And you think this should be the president, right? This is from X. Resurfaced video shows Kamala Harris suggesting that people are not having children due to the climate change. Watch this.
I've heard young leaders talk with me about a term they've coined called climate anxiety. Right? Which is fear of the future and the unknown, of whether it makes sense for you to even think about having children, whether it makes
That was the whole clip.
What?
That was the whole clip.
That didn't say anything yet.
She said, I heard about climate anxiety, and that means fear of the future.
Oh, okay.
Is what she said. Want me to hit it again?
Yeah, Hake said play it again, because that didn't say anything. What the?
Watch.
I was just getting my ears geared up. Okay.
I've heard young leaders talk with me about a term they've coined called climate anxiety. Right? Which is fear of the future and the unknown, of whether it makes sense for you to even think about having children, whether it makes...
Whether it may what?
It trails off there. It may have been unimportant information. She's saying whether you should have children.
Okay.
Like that's a real question.
But so she's saying that that's what other people are saying?
Correct. And what's in their on their
Why
minds.
y'all cut it so short though? But anyway, she called climate
anxiety.
She called climate anxiety the fear of the future and the unknown of whether it makes sense for you to even think about having children. And you want the Democrat. I'm saying the Democrat want her for president. They don't. They don't really want her. They don't want her. If anyone think that the weather has anything to do with you making babies or not, you're an idiot. Whoever said that, if anyone said it, to Kamala Harris, you're an idiot. What does the weather have to do with you having a baby? It's just another excuse to abort the baby, to kill the baby. The man's baby in the womb. And you think that female should be the president of a country. You see where she's heading to? It's not in her nature to think any differently than that. Any different, she can't help it. She is emotionally lost in her imagination, which is hell. She's lost in her thought. All thoughts are all lies all the time. But women, until they start to overcome it, and some are, I talk to them all the time, they're overcoming the imagination. They're overcoming the thoughts and feelings by returning to the Father. By returning to the Father. You've already made a grave mistake by replacing the men with the women. And I say that because if the men were not weak, ain't no way someone can replace you. How can they replace you? I mean, how can you be replaced? It doesn't even make sense, but the men don't know. And to see men support the replacement of men with women, you know they're blind. The men just can't see. They're lost. They had too much mama. They are mama boys. And I know in the schools they've been teaching the children that climate is bad, the earth is on fire, it's going to get worse. So the kids grow up thinking that, and because the mothers don't love the children enough to stay home and raise them and teach them while the man is off at work, they tell the children whatever they want to, and when the kids grow of age, they become little Democrats. According to so-called Representative Kate Porter, a Democrat from California, said her 9-year-old daughter told her The earth is on fire, and we're going to die soon because of climate change. That's according to the National Review 2021. And the daughter said it made her feel angry. Poor daughter. Her father's not protecting her from the mother, and the mother is not protecting her from the school by sending her off to school so she can not be a mother at home. And you want women to run your company, your company, your family. It's not going to get better. My country is not coming back. Kamala Harris documentary, undocumented immigrants, criminal, she says. She claimed that they're not criminal. What are they then? As Democrats continue to rally behind Kamala Harris to become the next presidential nominee, it's a mess. Here's a soundbite from X. Here's a compilation of Kamala Harris saying the same phrase over and over and over and over again in different speeches and interviews. Watch this.
It is wrong to somehow suggest that an undocumented immigrant is a criminal. Being an undocumented immigrant is not a crime. I know what a crime looks like. An undocumented immigrant is not a criminal. An undocumented immigrant is not a criminal.
So coming over here illegally is not a criminal.
An undocumented immigrant is not a criminal. An undocumented immigrant is not a criminal. An undocumented immigrant is not a criminal. An undocumented immigrant is not a criminal. An undocumented immigrant is not a criminal. An undocumented immigrant is not a criminal. An undocumented immigrant is not a criminal. An undocumented immigrant is not a criminal. An undocumented immigrant is not a criminal, and we have to correct course in this conversation. We're not going to treat people who are undocumented across the border as criminals. That's correct.
Can we say it one more time? Immigrant is not a criminal. Undocumented immigrant. They come over here illegal. They're breaking the rule. Coming here illegally, you're a criminal. You're a criminal. Automatically, you're a criminal. And she's lying. And you want that for president. You want that for president. She's telling you up front she's lying. And you want that for president. They even say that once they deport you, it's a crime. It's like a felony or something to come back illegally, right? They come back all the time, and they commit crime once they get here. Not only they committed a crime coming here the first time, they commit the crime and come back when you can throw them back across the border. And they come back and they commit real crimes, other crimes. And you want Kamala Harris. But you really don't want her. The Democrats don't want Kamala. They're lying. 888-77-JESSE. Quick break. Back in a moment.
Hey, listen, before I ask my question, I want to thank you so much. The silent prayer, you know, I'm 50 years old. At home, we have a 16-year-old, 14-year-old, and a 10-year-old. And I got to tell you, introducing the silent prayer to my family, instead of just sitting down and saying the same old prayer over and over again before we eat our meal, to just be silent, bringing all thoughts into captivity. Brother, that has been such a huge, huge blessing in our lives. I just want to encourage anyone to try that out. It's amazing to look around after we've done our silent prayer before we eat, to see the excitement in my kids' faces, like, oh yeah, Dad, I had a bunch today. Or the other one will be like, yeah, you know, I had a couple things that I've been thinking about. It really takes root, Jesse, and so I want to thank you so much, and ever since then, it's been absolutely amazing. So Thank you so much.
You're welcome, Tony. Stay with it, stay with it, stay with it. You're going to know God and his love. It's going to be amazing, man. Okay, 888-7753-773, 888-77-JESSE, Jesse, Jesse. So I just want to finish up this with the so-called Kamala Harris and prove or show you, because most of you are not going to believe it anyway, that women were not created to lead but to follow. And as a result, our country is never coming back, because that's all you see everywhere now. Even in the police department, fire department, when there are emergency situations happen, who is out front making announcements? They put a woman out there. It's crazy. I promise you, if you don't already regret women taking over America, wait until you get a female president. The phrase, every time you listen to the woman, you suffer, it's going to be like, every time, it's going to be like, I don't know what to say. And all this other hell that you see happening in the country, with the schools, with the government, with the media, with whatever, is because the women are in head of it. And so all those things have to happen because the gates of hell come through the woman. Evil comes through the woman. And so it's just not going to get better. Ain't no way. I don't care if it's your mama, president, your sister, your cousin, your female cousin, your female boss, it ain't going to work. And women know it too. They know it. In the good old days when girls were girls and women were women, they knew it. They would say, they would never even want to work for a woman because they knew it was just messy. It was never going to work. And they were not afraid to say it. They were not afraid to say it. Here is, and to the blacks, if you fall for the trick that Kamala Harris is trying to play on you now, pretending all of a sudden she's like into the black thing, she know how to make a pot of greens. She know how to go to a black record store and get some black music, and she have media with that. If you fall for this, then you're worse off than what I even imagined that you were. You should be. Kamala Harris is embarrassing you by doing this. She's embarrassing you by doing this. And she's doing it to get a vote, not because she cares about you. Here's where she's rallying. Kamala Harris is trying to rally around the blacks. This is from X. Recent videos of Harris showing that she may be blacker than we thought. Or is this a desperate attempt to relate and sway black voters? I want you to watch this first video of Harris claiming she can make a mean pot of greens. Watch
Right,
it.
Marlon? So I know how to make a mean pot of greens. In fact, people used to ask me to make greens for them for Christmas. One year, I had so many that I had to wash that we ended up washing them in the bathtub. So I am not playing around.
Stop it. Get some help.
I'm telling you. Isn't that a crazy? She doing that. She's saying that black people, you're just worth a good old mean pot of green. You're seeing the black in me now. And she's doing it to get your vote. She don't care about you. I remember when I first heard of this woman, female Kamala Harris, the blacks didn't even like her. They said that she had been putting them in jail over pot or something like that. They don't like her. And Barack knows it. And the Democrats knows it too. I can make a mean pot of green. On video saying that. Black and proud. Say it loud. Here's a video of Harris. This is from S as well. Harris leaving a record store with black records. Watch this.
What'd you get? So, okay, so do you know music? Okay, so first of all, Charlie Mingus, really one of the greatest jazz performers ever. One of my favorite albums of all time. Roy Ayers, Everybody Loves Sunshine. You know this one? So good. It's a classic. And then Porgy and Bess, right? And this is a beautiful one. It's Ella Fitzgerald and Louis Armstrong. So there you go.
That is so sick, I don't even know what to say about it. That's sick. She done went to the record store and picked up a few old albums. I wondered if she'd throw them on the floor as soon as she got her black car there. Or do you think she went home and sat down and listened to the music? This is what she think of black people. She don't think much of you at all. You're just a mean pot of green and a record. You can cook and you can dance. This woman is so not into being black, it's not even funny. But she can do it now because she needs the black votes. You got to bring them back. Bring them back to the plantation of the Democratic Party. A lot of blacks are not falling for it, by the way, especially black men. Especially black men. They're not falling for it. No. It's amazing. Some of the black women are. And she said that she was what? Everybody calling on her to make some green. He had so many greens, she had to clean them in the tub. I wonder did you watch that tub? Can you imagine this woman cleaning greens in the tub that she took a nasty bath in? And then she take them and put them in a pot and then cook them and feed them to you on a plate. You're eating her dirt, grind, and grease off her nasty body. Who put greens in a bathtub? Isn't that amazing? Isn't that amazing? I'll talk to Nick. Here's a picture. I want to show you how black Kamala Harris is. Oh, she black. She black. Here's a picture of Harris family. This is baby Harris and her mother.
Her Indian mom.
Her mama look like an Indian to me.
Can I say something though? Like, I agree with Obama. I don't think she can beat Trump. And I do see these men you're talking about, actually. I don't know about this black woman. But I think she's black enough, you know what I mean, for a lot of America.
What do you mean?
As in, they're like...
Camilla ain't been more black than her mama sitting up there with a star on her head.
But, like, people are hateful.
What do you mean?
They hate white people. Or
Right.
otherwise, they're just angry. They have that misplaced anger. But what I'm trying to say is that she's black enough for that.
As
And
long as they
people will
don't
be
get
like,
it.
no, I'm going with the black woman. They don't care about this Indian picture. What do you think?
No, that picture, some of the black going to vote for her anyway. But yes, according to Jesse Waters' show last night, Obama does not believe that Harris can beat Donald Trump. And so he said that that's why it took Obama like 2 weeks, I think. I may be off on the time of the week time, but it took him a long time to endorse her because he really don't think she can win. And he only endorsed her because Biden endorsed her before Obama can say, no, he did it. Apparently there's this fuse going on between Obama and Biden, so all that mess going on. But yeah, James, according to the Tucker show, Obama don't think she can win.
This is from 5 days ago, New York Post. Obama doesn't believe Kamala Harris can beat Trump, which is why he hasn't endorsed her.
Yeah.
Although
Yeah.
James is saying the Obamas have endorsed, but
Well, they have now. They just
giving
did
you
it.
that.
Like, they just endorsed her recently. So that's a picture of her mama and Kamala, I guess. This is a picture of her father and mother. This is the picture of the father and mother of Kamala Harris. The father black.
yep.
The mama got good hair.
Mm-hmm.
No wonder Camilla got good hair. But
That Indian's hair, you can tie these people up on like somewhere and they'll like hang off that hair. It's so strong. It
I
won't
remember
rip.
at one time Indian hair was real popular sale in the black community. A lot of black women wanted Indian hair, and they used to go to the. They
All the
used to
Indian
go
girls
over
I
to
knew
the
had amazing hair.
beauty shops to buy Indian hair. So what?
All the Indian girls I knew had amazing hair.
Yeah,
Also
the
a
father
lot
looked light skin. He's not like real black. What?
Who's taking away his black card?
Hake. This is another picture of Camilla's grandfather, grandmother, sister, and cousin. This is from the L.A. Times. The first picture was from the New York Times, and I mean the last picture I showed you, New York Times, and then the other one from CNN. This is from the L.A. Times. Here's a grandfather, grandmother, sister, and cousin. Look like Indians to me. Which one is Kamala Harris?
Top left. Look at her. She kind of looks curly haired here, actually.
So
But it's
do they
still,
have
like, good
different
hair.
fathers?
Say that again.
Do they have different fathers? Oh, this is her sister.
Like on the Indian side. My bad. Was someone talking to your ear?
No,
Yeah, that's her on the top left. You can see her big smile.
way over
You
there.
can almost see her cackle. Top left next to over there.
Yeah, I see. Yeah. Oh, right there. Oh, yeah.
And you can see she has actually on her forehead. She has a little dot.
What?
She put a little bindi dot.
I wonder how did she got a white husband. How did she go from? You notice she went from Indian to white. She didn't go from Indian to black until now. Amazing.
She's Blindian. Sorry.
According to the New Yorker, Donald Harris is a renowned Marxist economist from Jamaica. That's according to the New Yorker. What a mess. And you want this for your president. My country gone. That mindset of even considering a female for president, and especially this one, the mindset alone is messed up. 888-7753-773. Let me go to Josh out of Georgia. Josh, welcome to the show. You're on the air.
Thanks for having me on, Jesse.
Yes, sir. Welcome.
All right. Yes, sir. I was calling to answer that biblical question.
Do you love the emptiness of not knowing who you are?
I have to say that no, I don't love it. Because, I see it only gets worse.
Meaning what?
That it's like I can't stop. It seems like I can't. I know I'm feeding it by believing thoughts and chasing thrills, but at the same time, I can't stop. I don't love it, even though it seems like I love it. My actions would show that I love it, but I don't. It's like I don't. I know I don't want that. I don't love that.
You don't love the emptiness of not knowing who you are?
No.
Then why don't you overcome it?
That's the top priority in my life, and I suppose something. I don't know. But that's all. That's the only thing that is important to me.
What's the only thing important to you?
Is overcoming the emptiness.
Amazing, right
but
on.
My actions, but like my actions don't show that.
And so, what are you doing to overcome it?
See, what am I doing to overcome it? Just avoiding thrill seeking, avoid living the more mundane life, and trying to not chase highs, trying to stay more even keeled and live a quiet, simple life,
Amazing.
Silent prayer, yeah.
Yeah. Are you doing the silent prayer every morning and night?
Yeah.
And during the day too?
Yeah, I do it 3 times a day, and I do that little 4-minute thing that you were doing a while back. Just do nothing for 4 minutes sometimes,
Right. Good,
and
man.
That kind of slows me. Yeah, it kind of slows me down. So,
Right on.
Yeah.
That's amazing. Well, I appreciate you responding to the biblical question, Josh. But stay with it, man. Stay with it. Stay with it. Just stay on that straight and narrow, and just stay with it.
Yep. Yeah. It seems like I have no choice.
Nice. Thank you, Josh. I appreciate it, man.
No problem. Appreciate you.
And happy White History Month.
Yes, sir. Last day, or tomorrow's the last day. Right?
Yeah, tomorrow. Yeah.
Last day.
Oh,
All right.
amazing. Thank you.
All right. Yep.
Bye.
All right, bye-bye.
888-7753-773. Super chat. Super.
Good morning.
There's one line open, someone want to take it. Okay.
Apple 2691's 5 coffees from yesterday. Hi, Jesse. Happy White History Month.
Happy White History Month, Apple. Thank you.
My husband is white and born July 25th. He's a Leo. Last week, you'd mentioned about flying on jumbo jet, a Boeing 747 with a staircase going to upper deck and a cockpit.
Yes.
I worked at TWA, and I loved working on the 747.
I bet.
My first airline, I flew from Thailand to USA. I said when I was a girl, I'm going to work for TWA. Dream came true. Those were the days. I can relate to all the perks you had working on the airlines.
And you're absolutely right. Those were the days. I remember what's that other?
TWA?
TWA.
Trans World.
It used to be like one of the hottest airline you want to fly.
I had a little TWA like airplane toy.
Do you remember it?
Uh-huh.
It was still around when you became a...
Yeah, as a little kid.
Really?
Uh-huh. I think.
And I'm glad that it's Apple, right?
Apple, yeah.
Apple. I'm glad you remember the good old days. Flying, what most people don't know, Apple, is that flying used to be classy and fun, and you want to do it. And when I worked for the airline, you could do it free. I loved it. Amazing. Thank you, Apple. That's amazing.
She says TWA was bought by American Airlines in 2001. We were not happy. They treated us as stepchildren, stapled us to the bottom of the seniority list.
Really?
When 9/11 happened, TWA employees were the first laid off. In 1996, the explosion, talking about white history, in midair of Flight 800 grounded Boeing 747. A sad day. Sorry for the long post, but it was Female Monday, she said.
Yeah, I remember that. I totally remember that.
Wow.
Yeah, I remember that. But the reason I stopped working for the airline, Ronald Reagan laid everybody off.
You were on strike?
Yeah, we were on strike. And it was taking them a long time, and Ronald Reagan just laid everybody off.
Nice.
And we were like, what the? And it has not been the same since. It has not been the same. Flying has not been the same since. It's amazing. Thank you, Apple. I appreciate that. Thanks for the memories.
Whoa.
What?
I just, wow.
Me too.
Have a great day, Jesse, James, and crew. Heart smiley emoji says Apple 2691 with their 5 coffees. Thank you again.
Amazing. Thank you.
Not very pithy.
Who is that from?
Apple 2691.
Thank you.
And then there are a ton more super chats to come.
Okay.
Isaiah donated a Cash App, Bond JLP Cash App. No message. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Yeah.
Oshkosh said, great fellowship yesterday, meaning 2 days ago. Amazing. I saw it late. Thank you for the Cash App.
That was on Sunday. You can podcast Sunday Fellowship at rebuildingthemand.com/church. Let me take a quick break. 2 more hours to go. When I come back, we're going to finish the super chats and your phone calls. Hate news, not the fake news. Back in a moment. I recommend you get them. 7 guaranteed steps to spiritual, family, and financial success guide. Even if you're not starting a business, but you have a job or you're on welfare, it can help you if you do. Be doers of the word, all right? From rage to responsibility. From rage. That's what I write about in the first chapter, especially how I overcame. Scam. How the black leadership exploits black Americans. They are using them, and blacks are too willing to be used. And then my last book, The Antidote, Healing America from the Poison of Hate, Blame, and Victimhood. They are all amazing books, and they are helpful. Go to rebuildingthemand.com if you want an autographed copy, or call 800-411-2663.
A whole lot of mess going on in the world. This is the end of hour 1 of the Jesse Lee Peterson Show. We're going to be talking about, in Hake News, meteor showers. Explain that. Space deniers, the Secret Service, the Olympics, and the Veep stakes. Who wants to be VP under cackling Kamala Harris? Probably resign within a week. Stay tuned for hour 2. The JLP Show will be right back. There is one line open. You can call in right now during Hake News, not fake news. 1-888-775-3773. 888-77-JESSE. Commie Nonsense Network, CNN reports on this meteor shower. 2 meteor showers will light up the sky this week, creating a dazzling display in several corners of the world. Whoa, CNN. There are corners in the world? Yes, there are. The southern delta aquarids were active overnight, and the alpha Capricornids, known for bright fireballs, could bring 5 meteors per hour tonight. So enjoy if you are around there within eyesight of it. Anyway, the so-called Secret Service, our greatest president, Donald J. Trump, has agreed to sit for an interview with the FBI, the liberals, to provide his perspective, quote unquote, of the failed assassination attempt this month. I don't know why they put perspective in quotes. This comes as questions remain about the security errors, lapses, and missed opportunities to stop Trump's would-be assassin before that Pennsylvania rally that got underway a few Saturdays back. Text messages released and radio chatter detailed Monday show that the law enforcement officers lost sight of the shooter and further illustrate the confused communications around tracking him at the July 13th event. Secret Service is adjusting how they approve security plans for all future protected sites and events, according to excerpts of congressional testimony that acting Secret Service Director Ronald Rowe, R-O-W-E, will deliver today. He's acting Secret Service Director because that other gal has resigned. Remember her? Kim Cheadle, I think, or Cheetle, whatever. The Olympics. Do you care? I don't, but you're going to hear about it unless you turn this off. The men's triathlon event has been postponed until Wednesday due to poor water quality levels in the River Seine. I used to pronounce it Seine, but it's the River Seine, S-E-I-N-E. Pollution in the River Seine typically jumps after heavy rains like those that recently drenched the French capital. About $1.5 billion they spent trying to clean up the river ahead of the Olympic Games, and Paris officials made a big show of displaying its suitability. Paris's female mayor, Anne Hidalgo, nice Italian name. Oh, no, French name, right? It's not a French name, I don't think. She swam in the river earlier this month to display her confidence in the water quality. The French sports minister has also gone for a dip in the Seine. If the water levels don't improve by Wednesday, the original contingency date for the triathlon remains in place for Friday, August 2nd. What a mess, huh? And the Veep stakes. Embarrassing. Democrats eagerly awaiting to see whom Vice President cackling Kamala Harris picks as her running mate, as a few contenders appear to be rising to the forefront. Polling and extensive research is underway for Pennsylvania Governor Josh Shapiro, probably not a Christian, Arizona Senator Mark Kelly. I think he's the astronaut whom Obama, I heard, wanted to be president, wanted to be the presidential candidate. An astronaut, a white man, I guess. And Minnesota Governor Tim Walz, Kentucky Governor Andy Beshear. Is he Muslim? I forget. Maybe I'm confused. And Transportation Secretary Pete Buttigieg, oh no, are also being seen as prospective running mates. On Monday, North Carolina Governor Roy Cooper took himself out of consideration in a sign that accelerated search has entered a new phase. Her decision on a running mate could come within a week, 2 people familiar with the matter said. We'll see what happens. I'm James Hake, now back to JLP, Hour 2.
To stand up strong, face the truth about themselves, to understand what went wrong. I know we can find a way. I know we can find a way. I know we can find a way to stand up, stand up.
uniting the races with truth instead of dividing them with lies. We're also rebuilding the family by rebuilding the man. I am Jesse Lee Peterson. Welcome to the second hour of the show today. It is Country and Western Tuesday, and you can get involved by calling 888-7753-773. 888-77-JESSE. Jesse. Jesse. And my biblical question for this week, the biblical question, and it's a doozy. Do you love the emptiness of not knowing who you are? Do you love the emptiness of not knowing who you are? That's an amazing question. And if you're running around out and about, working out, doing whatever you're doing, and you can't sit and watch the show right now, you can podcast all the shows, but no matter what you're doing, you could be listening to the show live on your iPhone or iPad, all right? By calling the listen line on TalkStream Live at 605-615-4131. 605-615-4131. And to donate and have your comments read out loud, go to buymeacoffee.com/JLP Talk. JLP Talk. buymeacoffee.com/JLP Talk or Bond JLP Cash App. Bond JLP Cash App. Yay! It is Tuesday. It's the second hour of the show on Tuesday. It is Country and Western Tuesday. Bring back, oh, bring back my country to me. Bring back my country to me. What the? Who let the dogs out? Amazing. Amazing Country and Western Tuesday. I remember those good old days when down in Sweet Home, Alabama, on that plantation, beautiful plantation, by the way, where we couldn't get anything but country and Western music. Remember that, Maze? I bet you Maze remember that. My friend Maze from Ohio, Hake, number one caller. You know what you call it, number one?
Hake's favorite caller.
Oh, your favorite caller.
Yep.
Amazing. Before we go to the phone, Hake, let's finish those super chats that we started, and then I'll get to the phones.
Super chat.
Super.
Thank you, Oshkosh and Isaiah, for your Cash App donations. Let's see. Mark from Atlanta bought a coffee.
Thank you, Oshkosh. And who else?
Isaiah.
And Isaiah, thank you.
Mark from Atlanta bought a coffee. They tried to kill Donald, but he didn't meet his demise. We won't vote for Kamala, and the creek won't rise. Hashtag the Great White Hope.
The Great White Hope. It's very concerning that an attempt was made on Donald Trump's life like that. And you can't find out what really happened and why. And it just looked like, I don't know what's going on, that the Secret Service were not seriously trying to protect him. That's very concerning to me in the United States of America. But human nature is evil. And angry people are desperate people, and they would do anything to get what they want. They don't care. A desperate person is a dangerous person. Even your own mama is desperate in her angry state of being, and she'll make an army against her own children because she's desperate. Human nature is evil. That's why you need a brand new nature. It's amazing to be alive and to see an attempt made on a man running for president. And he was nearly killed. Think about that. And the Secret Service don't even want to tell you what happened. Isn't that amazing? Amazing. Thank you, though. Thank you.
Do What You Want, of course, out of Indiana, PA, bought 3 coffees. Kamala wants to be Mamala. Did you know that's her nickname, Mamala?
Yeah.
With her stepchildren. But we need to return to the Father, the great white hope.
Yep. If ever we needed the Father's back. What is he saying to the callers? Okay. Thank you.
Jack donated on Cash App, very generous, saying, Christ is king. Obama is a deep state puppet.
Christ is king. Christ is king. Over there on cozy.tv/JLP. And don't forget, speaking of that, don't forget, subscribe, follow, like, ring the bell. Y'all know what to do. Support our social media platform, all right? Amazing. Thank you, by the way.
Thank you, Jack.
Thank you, Jack.
Evgeny Crosby, couple of diamonds. President Maduro is hiding under his desk watching church with Jesse Lee Peterson.
And who is President Maduro?
He's the Venezuela communist. Is he communist president? Something like that.
And that's the guy just won?
He supposedly won, but there's saying they both won. They're disputing the election. I don't know. It's a mess.
What a mess.
I can't keep up with that stuff.
Thanks.
Yeah, thank you, Evgeny. It's me, Xenia, Rumble Rant. We're almost at the end of White History Month. Let's make sure we keep it going every year. Strong arm, Christian cross, American flag.
Absolutely. July will always be White History Month. July. Thank you. Absolutely.
Based Nation with a very generous Rumble Rant says the debt-based economic system of the West is in need for new debt slaves or it will not work.
The debt base of the West is a mess.
Indeed.
Thank you.
Over on buymeacoffee.com/JLP Talk. Hi, Jesse and James, says Apple2691 with 5 more coffees this morning.
Thank you.
Do you get it, Jesse James? I used to watch Steve Harvey shows, and she talks a bit about him. I won't say it just because I don't want to give out bad information. But she says, I don't like to watch TV. It's a devil toolbox. Thanks, Jesse and James and the staff. Happy White History Month.
Thank you. Amazing. I never watched Steve Harvey show. I know who it is. And I've seen little clips, but I never watched this show.
We've seen little bits on some of the Manhood Hour things where he's like crying, kissing up to the women and stuff like that.
He just always seemed to be a bait of me.
He means well.
I don't know for sure, but thank you, Apple.
Thank you, Apple 2691.
2691. Thank you.
Neat bought Hake coffee. He doesn't like me calling him that, but I'm cleaning up his name for the sake of the channel.
Thank you.
Jesse, would you agree Kamala deserves the Fonnie Williams? I think it's Fonnie Willis. Treatment you recommended. Lock that B word up so fast and make her head swim. Drag that woman out of here. Drag her. Don't even let her walk. Matter of fact, pull her by.
Oh, I ain't thinking all that about it. I just don't think she should not be president. But whatever it is she's doing, that's on her.
He says, I need that voice note as a text alert every time Support Harris comes across my phone. Nerd eyes, cool sunglasses, and disguise. Thank you, Neat.
I appreciate it. Thank you. But no, I don't know about all that lock her up stuff. But I just know she's an empty shell, and she would not be good for the president. She's a socialist. And that's the last thing. And she's a female. Is the last thing we need in America today. Thank you, though.
But he says, don't give her any water. That was something else that you had said, I guess, about Fonnie Willis.
Amazing.
Damon bought 3 coffees, so I finally watched that movie Nefarious last night. The one that you recommended, Nefarious.
Yes.
I'm not sure if powerful is the right word, but it blew my mind. Thanks, Jesse and crew, for all you do. Keep up the good work. And yes, you too, Joel. He blat. LOL.
He black. And thank you for your support. Absolutely. I'm glad you saw it. It was very, very interesting. Amazing. Thank you.
Gavin from North Georgia bought 100 coffees. Very generous.
Nice.
It's no coincidence that the DNC convention this year is in Chicago, which is Big Mama Michelle. He doesn't say Mama, but I'll put Mama. Michelle's hometown. Y'all get ready for an election surprise, he says.
I would not be surprised if they announced during that time they don't want Kamala. They got somebody else or something. You never know. The Democrats are desperate, and a desperate person is a dangerous person. There is no limit to what they would do to destroy anybody, anything gets in their way to get what they want. Isn't that amazing? Thank you. And Chicago seems to be a dangerous place to be having a conference nowadays.
Almost as bad as Milwaukee.
Not almost. Aren't they like right down the road from one another?
They might be. I don't know my geography.
Don't know much about geography. Don't know much psychology. Amazing.
I know that song from your bumpers back in the day.
Oh, yeah?
Yep.
But I do know that I love you. And I know that if you love me too, what a wonderful world this would be. Now, I don't claim, but
to be an A student.
Yeah, to be an A student. But I'm trying to be amazing. Thank you.
I have books that are amazing, donated a diamond, saying normal whites just want a first-class life.
That's all they want.
Amazing.
White people just want a first-class life. I saw a movie that was made in England. And it was like out on those beautiful farmlands of England, right? And they were all dressed. It was an older movie, all dressed up, and the surrounding was beautiful. And they had maids and flower people cutting the flower in the grass. And I'm like, they still had their mess going on. But the environment was just beautiful. And I'm like, this is all white people want. They don't want to be fighting. They don't want to be called racist. They don't want all that. They just want a first-class life. They go to school for it. They make sure their kids go. They build first-class life around themselves, flying. And they don't want all this ghetto mess. Leave the white people. They just want a first-class life. What the? Amazing. Thank you.
Nikki bought a coffee. Biblical question
and
answer.
White people love servants.
Indeed we do.
You notice that?
It's smart to have them.
White people
Can't
love
do everything.
servants.
Yeah.
I noticed that in that movie, they had people out in the yard cutting the grass, planting the flowers.
They know how to delegate.
They had drivers driving them around, and some of the people would come visit it on trains. And they would have people waiting for them at the train stop. And they would have maids and servants, and white people love servants. Isn't that amazing?
It's smart.
They keep America moving. No wonder the white politicians want illegal aliens over here. They need some new servants. Amazing. Thank you, though.
Nikki bought a coffee. Biblical question answer.
Do you love the emptiness of not knowing who you are?
Yes, because the truth can only come out of emptiness. All questions and answers arise and vanish in this emptiness. It is where all my troubles end, says Nikki.
Amazing. Thank you. I'll put my little 2 cents in on Sunday. Thank you.
And thank you, guys. I do believe that that's all for now.
Amazing. Thank you. Mind blowing. I do appreciate it. A friend of mine, my friend just texted me. He said, he said, I agree with what you said about the Secret Service. I don't think that the Secret Service let me do this. I have to read this later. This is a lot. But he agreed with me about the service thing. But anyway, so did you notice white people love servants?
Yeah.
No wonder they took care of their black servants really well, those that live in the White House, the big house.
Right.
And they took care of the ones that live in the field well, too.
Yep.
They made sure they whooped them if they didn't work hard.
Yeah. It was, it takes a special kind of person to be able to delegate work.
Yep. You say that again.
Nice.
Let me go to Isaac, a first-time call out of Georgia. Georgia on my mind. Isaac, welcome to the show. You're on the air.
Hey, Jesse.
Hey, Isaac.
Happy White History Month.
Thank you. Happy White History Month.
Appreciate it. I have a question for you. You say whenever you live in your imagination, that's evil. But what if you're an artist, like if you paint a lot?
Use it as a tool. You know, like when you're doing your painting, use your imagination as a tool. And when you're done with the painting, put it down.
Okay, so it's not evil.
Because that is not evil. You're using it in a practical way. But when you use the imagination to get a false self-image of yourself, you know, that you're this and you're that, you're this and that and that and that and all that, that is evil. You're using it in an evil way.
Okay.
Amazing. That's a good question, man.
I was just thinking about it. I was curious. I just started listening to you about a month ago.
Right on. But that's it's a tool, but don't live in it. Just use it as a tool because God gave you the gift to paint, you know, to be an artist and things like that, right? Make music. Gotcha. But he doesn't want you to live in it. He doesn't want you to get a false identity from it. Don't call it you.
Okay, so I'm not an artist. I just paint.
Right. That's a talent. Absolutely.
I appreciate it.
All right, buddy. Thanks for your call.
Have
Amazing.
a good one.
You too.
Yeah. Thanks for taking it.
Okay. 888-775-3773. Let me go to Harold out of North Carolina, first-time caller. Harold, welcome to the show. You're on the air.
Thank you for taking my call, sir.
Yes, sir.
I was listening to your show and you're pretty much. I agree with you 100%. This country's about a done deal.
Yeah, yeah.
With $35 trillion in debt, God knows how many illegal immigrants are in this country. It's costing us a fortune. They're making taxpayers like me subsidize that nonsense.
Yeah.
When people that want open borders should subsidize open borders. I shouldn't be paying taxes for something I don't agree with. I really, really wanted to get to the Kamala Harris fiasco because isn't it interesting that the only two people that they really pushing for president or wanted to be president were Obama, who wasn't native born, even though he was born in Hawaii, but he wasn't born in the 50 states. He knew nothing about segregation, Jim Crow. He had no experience with that. And Kamala was born in Canada and then come back to the States until she went to college. And they're pushing these two people. They're pushing both of them, but they push one, and then now they're pushing her. And they keep calling her black. She's an Indian, Irish, Jamaican person. There's nothing black about her other than she might have a little melanin, but she's not, I don't know. Well, they have to push that because they can't talk about inflation, the border, abortion on demand. They have nothing to talk about. So Now, black people, and what pisses me off, Mr. Jesse, is I'm a black man. And I heard the statistics the other night on the last 5 presidential elections. The black community has given the Democratic Party 87% of their vote on average for the last 5 presidents.
Yeah.
Look at the cities that look at Chicago, Detroit, St. Louis. These places are third world countries within a country. People can't read and write. You got drugs. You got abortion rampant. You're pushing that LGBT community nonsense. How is it that we are only 13% of the population consistently for the last 67 years? That's not an accident.
Yeah, that's right, man. And that's why I say my country is not coming back. And it's being set up so that it will not come back. It can only get worse and not get better, especially if we continue down this road. It's amazing to watch that.
I have to agree with you totally about women in charge because, perfect example, the WNBA has been in business 29 years, run by women, mostly black women, and it hasn't made a penny.
Yeah. That's a good point, man. What? Absolutely.
Well, Mr. P, you keep doing what you're doing. It's good to hear a refreshing voice, somebody that's not lying to me all the time. I catch a lot of heat because I'm not going to vote for Democrats.
Nice.
If you knew anything about the Democratic Party and their history, black people would be running away from it.
Absolutely.
For some reason, we are addicted to the Democratic Party, and they might not vote. They'll vote for Kamala. They'll vote for her. Anything other than Trump, and I don't agree with everything Trump did, but I agree with one thing. He kept my taxes low. The border wasn't wide open, and he got rid of that Roe versus Wade where it should have been kicked back to the states.
Right.
Instead of the federal government being a dictator and telling you what you can't do. And you know what? I don't have a problem with a woman having an abortion, but you need to pay for it.
That's right. If you're gonna have it, you pay for it.
You pay for it. I shouldn't have to be burdened with your mistakes. Condoms are a lot cheaper than abortion.
Yeah. Absolutely, man. Harold, I appreciate that, man. Good input. Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Thank you for taking the call. Have a good day, sir.
You too, buddy. He's right. According to Wikipedia, Camilla was born in Oakland, but her mother left the father and moved to Canada. That's according to Wikipedia. But he's absolutely right. The parents divorced when she was 7. Mother moved with Camilla to Canada at age 12. He is right about that now. And the Democrats been controlling the blacks for the last 70 years. And that's because the blacks stopped thinking for themselves when the so-called civil rights movement came along, which was the worst thing that ever happened to the blacks other than abortion. The civil rights movement. It was the worst thing that ever happened. Isn't that amazing? 888-7753-773. Let me go to first-time caller Daniel out of Illinois. Daniel, welcome to the show. You're on the air.
Hey, thanks, Jesse. How are you today?
All is well. Thanks for calling.
Good. Hey, yeah, I've been listening to you for quite some time now, and you know, I've went to my parents and forgiven them, and been working on the steps to try to better myself, I guess. Anger has been a big ordeal. I used to be a very angry person.
Yes.
And I've been doing like really, really well. But I've noticed I've been trying to work things out with with my ex or my girl, and we had a lot of anger in our relationship previously, and I'm trying to go about it better and come back in with no anger and trying to keep working on myself and stuff, but I've noticed she's got a lot of anger that's still there.
You say your ex?
And yeah.
So you're not dating her now, right?
Well, I mean, we're trying to figure things out. I thought it was, because I was so upset at the world before and stuff, and so like I wanted to try again, not angry, as an angry person.
Right. Okay.
And I've noticed that she's still, super angry. It's like she's trying to, like, I don't know. I can't explain. I'm just wondering how do I get her to work, with me on this, like with her evil and stuff too. Like, how do I? Every time I try to talk about it or something, she just acts like I'm talking nonsense,
And so you want to know, how do you do what?
How do I get her to go on this journey with me? Like, how do I?
Oh, I see.
Like,
why do you want to take her on the journey with you?
Because I feel like I love her,
And what does love feel like?
Well, I mean, like, I don't know. I'm happy. I know. Like, nobody on earth loves, I get that. But I just like, when everything's good, it's really, really good. But if things don't go the right way, like, man, I see this explosive evil, in her, and I like, and she gets really, really angry. And, lately I've just caught myself, I sitting there and listening to it all, while she just goes on and on and on. And I don't know, like, I don't know what to do on how, because like I said, when we're good, we're really, really good. But it's like, when we disagree on something, like, it's like, last word till the end, it's like, there's no compassion even, or like, any, like, I don't know.
Do you have any children with her?
No, I don't.
Nice. How old are you?
I'm 32.
And does she have any children?
Yes.
She have children?
Yeah.
How many?
I'm at 2. And I do too. I have 2.
But not by her.
No.
She's been married before?
No, we both had them out of wedlock.
Why are you dating a woman with children?
I don't know. We grew up together, kind of.
That's not a reason to date.
Yeah.
Why are you dating a woman with children?
I don't know, man, because I kind of want a family to provide for,
But that's not your family.
Yeah.
You say you have children already with someone else. Why don't you provide for them?
I mean, I do.
So why do you need somebody else's children to provide for?
I don't know. I guess I got a real problem with being alone, I think.
That's the problem. It's not that you want to provide for children. You can't stand being alone.
Yeah.
What's wrong with you? You can't be alone.
I don't know.
And you're about to walk right into the deep depths of hell, trying not to be alone, and all you're gonna do is be even lonelier. Hold on, can you hold?
Yeah.
Hold on. Back in a moment. Sorry about that. Back in a moment. To responsibility. I write about how the spirit of anger was taken away from me 29 years ago. I forgave my mother who tried to turn me away from my father, and I returned to my father, and through him, my father on earth, and through him I was able to return to God. No man or woman can return to God unless you go through the Son. And men are sons of God. They may be weak, pathetic examples of it, but it's the spiritual order of life. God in Christ, Christ in man, man over woman, and woman over children. So get from race to responsibility. I write about that. Go to my website, rebuildingtheman.com, for an autographed copy, or call 800-411-BOND. And donate to my nonprofit, Bond, the Brotherhood Organization of a New Destiny, We are rebuilding the family by rebuilding the man. Okay, welcome back. 888-7753. 773 888-77 Jesse. There's one line open. The Hake report, Hake report, is coming up at 9 a.m. this morning. The Hake report.com at 9 a.m. from 9 to 11 a.m. Pacific time. And then at 11 a.m. Joel Friday TV. He black. Joel Friday TV at 11 a.m. Pacific time. And there's a little change in the schedule for the American Anchor Baby. It's at 4 p.m. It's going to be at 4 p.m. today. All right? The American Anchor Baby, not 12, but 4 p.m. today. You don't want to miss it. 4 p.m. Pacific time. Make a note of that, and I'm sure he'll send out a notice as well at 4 p.m. And for personal shout-outs, birthday, weddings, anniversaries, congratulations, encouragement, whatever shout-out you want, I'll do it for you on Cameo. Go to Cameo, cameo.com/Jesse Lee Peterson, all right? cameo.com/Jesse Lee Peterson. And check out our merch. There's amazing merch at rebuildingtheman.com/store. Rebuildingtheman.com/store. Big Mama Mugs. Tom like a mug. That's what the black people call you when you lead a plantation. You're black and you lead a plantation. You start thinking for yourself. You become free. And then they try to send that Underground Railroad woman for you to bring you back. But it doesn't work. Whatever her name was. They call you Uncle Tom. So we did this mug, Tom and like a mug. So check out all the merch at rebuildingtheman.com/store. I want to go back to Daniel. And Daniel can't stand being alone. Daniel.
Yeah.
So do you realize you're dealing with a woman who already have children, who is already angry, who already hate men, that you're willing to go into hell for more hell because you don't want to be alone? Do you think that's going to solve the alone problem?
Well, I mean, it's not. I don't think it's only that. Like I feel like you know, like we really love each other when things are, you know, when we're not.
And what
disagreeing.
What does love feel like?
I don't know. Just
I want to know what love is.
I don't know. Like it just, if you know, we always want to see each other. We always want to be with each other. You know, when things are good, we really, you know, care about
That's
what
not
the other one wants.
That's not love. That's sex. Why you call sex love?
I don't know.
If you loved this woman and she loved you, do you think you'd be having these good feelings and then bad feelings and then bad feelings and then good feelings? Where's the love in that? There's no love in that. That's hate. That disguises itself as love. You don't love her, she doesn't love you. You hate her, she hates you. And you're trying to get love from her. Women don't have love to give. They only have hate. And she's trying to get love from you, and you don't have love to give because you have not overcome your mama. So you're trying to get mama's love.
I mean, so how do I go about I honestly tried to forgive my mom. Like I went I knew she was gonna freak out, but and she did. But
what did she do?
she just like what? You know how good you at? Well, like like I did this and I did that for you, and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, yeah, but it's it's the relationship with my father and everything too,
Yeah.
and having building resent in my heart against him, but shit's like she didn't even hear me.
Well, that's fine. As
But,
long as you forgave her, because the hardest thing in the world for a woman to do, unless they're ready to, is to admit that they're wrong. They remember everybody else's stuff except their own. They good. They did good. But everybody else was so bad. He was so bad. But I was so good. They can't tell you anything about themselves. It's all about the father.
No, that's exactly right. But like I felt like I forgave her, and
Nice.
and like I don't dwell on anything. Like I don't.
But do you
I don't
realize?
think about it.
Do you realize the woman you're dealing with now with these children is the spirit of your mother, and you're catching the same hell from her that your father caught from your mother? And also,
Yeah, I mean that makes a lot of sense.
yeah, and also, those children who are not your own don't want a step parent. They only want their natural father or their natural mother. They would never accept you as their natural father. Even if you were nice as nice can be, they'll use you, but they would never want you as their father. And they would be jealous of you getting the attention from their mother that they want.
Yeah.
You're in hell. You better be glad that you're breaking up with it so you can get out of it. And tell me about you don't want to be alone. Did you say you don't want to be lonely or want to be alone?
I don't like to be by myself, I guess.
And why not?
I think. Well, because I feel like I made a lot of bad decisions growing up, and and I like right now I'm like at the best place I've ever been, but I've made a lot of awful bad decisions, and it seems like when I got that to work for, like coming home every night, and I don't want to go out. I don't end up doing anything I don't want to do, and I walked the line. It seems like a lot better when I got a family to go to. You know what I mean?
Do you think you made the right decision getting involved with a woman with children? Was that a right decision?
I mean, sometimes it feels right, but no, I don't think it was.
So why would you go from one bad decision to another one, or even worse decision? Because I promise you, if you stay with this woman, you will regret it.
Yeah.
So why would you go from one bad decision to another one that's even worse?
It seems like I've always done that.
Right.
And
why?
I don't know why.
And I'll tell you in a minute. I know you don't know why. I understand that. But let me ask, the woman, how many children you have already?
I have two.
And
she has two.
And why did you marry the woman that already have this one woman has two children for you? Another woman?
The one I'm talking about has two, and then I have two.
Why did you marry the woman that you have the two children with?
Well, like I said, I wasn't a man yet, and I did have. This was before I found you, and before I started, focusing on God and reading the Bible and staying off the drinking and the running.
Got you. Okay, I understand that.
I had the spirit of my mother, and I was a real beta, and she found someone else. So,
right. Let me ask. Describe the you that feel lonely. Who is you? Describe the person that feel. Who are you?
I think it just gives me time to, I guess, listen to the demons, man. I guess listen to the things I shouldn't, the thoughts and.
But who are you? Who is Daniel from Illinois? Describe you. Who are you?
I'm just trying. I'm just a guy trying to do better. I don't know how to answer that.
So who is Daniel? Who are you?
I'm trying. I want to say child of God, but man, I am. You know, I feel like I just keep doing the wrong things. I keep, you know, making the wrong decisions, and I don't know. It's like, you know, I didn't have anger for, you know, forever, like same, like for, you know, months and months, and then, you know, and then all, you know, and lately it's just, it's like.
So you say you're a child of God?
Yeah.
But if you are a child of God, you're telling me who you belong to, but who are you?
I don't know.
For those that listen to the show by your phone, I'm still here. I'm looking still at it. I'm waiting on Daniel. So you don't know who you are?
I don't know.
And so if you don't know who you are, how do you know you feel lonely?
I guess I don't. I guess that's not me.
And then why do you call it you then?
I guess because I was weak enough to let it control me.
And so knowing that, and you're absolutely right, but knowing that, why do you think getting with a woman who you already hate and she hates you gonna make your life better? You don't even know who you are. You got a false identity with this feeling called loneliness, and you think that getting with her gonna fix the false you. Why do you think that way?
I'm going to other things instead of going to God.
Yep. You go to the woman and feelings and call it that your God. And all you're going to ever catch is hell. Let me ask, have you said that you've always made bad decisions in life, right?
Yeah.
And how did you make those bad decisions? Who is the person? Who is the you? You don't know who you are. You don't even know if you exist or not. How were you able to make bad decisions and you don't even know who you are?
I don't know, man. I think it's just the weak. It's just, I don't know. I'm just a weak mind. I'm letting all these evil things control me.
100%. You have never and will never, ain't gonna never, can never, never, never. It's impossible for you to make a decision, period. You have never made a decision in your whole life, and you never will. Human beings cannot make decisions. No such thing.
So it's like a possession?
Yes, you are possessed in your imagination and emotions, and you have identified with the demons because that's who they are, evil, and you're calling it you, and it has been controlling you, and it's been doing it because you said it's you. So it's taken on your identity, and you've taken on its identity, and it's destroying you. Even that lonely feeling you feel, it's a demon spirit. It's not even yours. It's not even you. And getting married or not getting married and trying to whatever, it's not going to solve that at all, because you can get with the nicest woman on this side of heaven, and unless you overcome that evil spirit of loneliness, the relationship is not going to work. But while it's working, you're going to cover up that feeling of loneliness. And when she's gone, and she will end, it will end, that lonely feeling will be right there. It will still be there. Because all you did was, you've done what a drug addict does. You cover it up with drugs or alcohol or sex or this or that. You can't, if you want to be free, you got to feel, face, and endure the pain of loneliness so that the Spirit of the Father will save you from it. God will save you from it, but you won't let him because you put everything else in place of it. You're covering it up rather than overcoming it by facing it. And you're calling it you. It's not you. And the devil tell you, oh, get married. You'll be happier with a family. You'll be happy with this, and all you catch is more hell because you're consulting with the devil that set you up in the beginning.
Yeah.
You're in your head consulting with evil.
Yeah.
And why do you think you need to make a relationship work? Where did that idea come from?
It just, like I said, it seems right.
I understand. You cannot.
But like I've heard you say before, if one person's, like trying to overcome and someone else isn't,
This woman will destroy you. And she's not your wife. She will destroy you if you're married, but you better let her go along with all those children that she had, and you just work on you. You are not, human beings are not, supposed to try to make any form of a relationship work. If a relationship doesn't work naturally on its own, it should not be. Because if you make it work, it's never going to work, and all you're going to catch is hell. Because you're saying you know what you want, and you don't. And you're trying to make hell work, and it's not. You should never, I encourage you, any form of friendship relationship, business relationship, marriage relationship, mom and son, mom and daddy, cousin, don't ever again, Daniel, try to make any relationship work. Either it works or it doesn't. If it works, it stays together. If it doesn't, walk away from it with pure joy.
Okay.
I highly recommend you dump this woman today. As a matter of fact, do you live with her?
No.
And she live by herself and you live her, y'all?
Yeah.
Be done. She will destroy you because you're trying to place her in the place of God.
Yeah. I said that just the other day, a while back. I said I almost feel like I have to choose, between you or God.
Yeah. And she loved that because you want to be your God. so she can destroy you. She hates your weakness.
Yeah.
And you better be glad you're not having any children with her. It'll be a mess. Because she will turn them against you. She'll use them against you. She'll destroy them to get back at you.
Well, I really appreciate this, man. I think this is exactly what I needed, and I knew you'd tell me what I didn't want to hear. So, I really do appreciate and respect you, Jesse.
You're welcome. So, are you doing the silent prayer?
I have not yet. I did go to the
Suffer
website
and
once.
die.
Yeah.
What the?
Okay. All right.
Daniel,
I'll do the silent prayer.
make sure you start. Go ahead.
Do it. I went to the website and then I read it one day, and then someone came up and started talking to me or something, and I just haven't got back to it. But yeah, you're right. I need to do it.
Daniel, if you want perfect peace, you got to overcome hell. And the hell is in the imagination. All thoughts about anything, except practical thoughts. All thoughts are all lies all the time. Thoughts and emotions are lies. They're evil, and they set you up because they're of your father, the devil. Their emotions are not necessary. An emotional man is a woman. You have your mother's nature, and God will take it away now that you've forgiven her, but you got to do the silent prayer and practice being present instead of lost in your head, thinking about the past or the future. And you stay present, and I promise you, I guarantee you, you will have a perfect life right here on earth. Nothing will be missing.
Okay.
Are you from Illinois?
Yeah.
Cause you sound Southern.
I'm from Southern Illinois.
Oh, okay. I rest my case.
Yeah.
So listen, be done with that woman. Don't contact her anymore. Don't ask her to come back. Do not get with her again because you'll get pregnant and now you're stuck with that pain. Let her go and just work on you.
Okay.
And the pain you're going to feel from it is just ego pain. It's not you. Die, let the pain be there, and the Father will take it away from you, all right?
All right.
Let me know how it goes.
I will. I want to call you back on Bible Thumping Thursday one of these days.
Oh, yeah. Call me on Bible Thumping Thursday. Bye.
All right. Bye.
Back in a moment. One more hour to go. Your phone calls right after this break. Back. Thanks to God. It is the best counseling service on this side of heaven. I counsel with men and women, families, individuals around the world. Most people are unhappy. They're miserable. They have rough lives. They're depressed, suicidal, young and old, of all races. I understand, I know why, and I do understand it. Because exactly what's happening in me is happening with everybody outside of me, inside of them. And I've noticed that with those who really, really, really want to understand, they overcome it just like that, out of one counseling session. If you need counseling, you can go to rebuildingaman.com or call 800-411-2663. 800-411-BOND. Best counseling service on this side of heaven.
A whole lot of mess going on in the world. This is the end already of hour 2 of the Jesse Lee Peterson Show. It's Country and Western Tuesday, July 30th. Happy White History Month, everybody. AD 2024, the year of our Lord. Stay tuned for hour 3. Last hour of the Jesse Lee Peterson Show is coming right up. We will get to your super chats and more of your great calls. There is one line open. You can call in right now during Hake News, not fake news. And JLP will be right back. Hang tight, everybody. The so-called Supreme Court, according to Commie Nonsense Network, crooked Joe Biden, the so-called president, he called for major Supreme Court reforms Monday in a speech marking the anniversary of the 1964 so-called Civil Rights Act, disgraceful act from decades back, right? Biden's proposals included a constitutional amendment stripping the president of immunity for crimes committed while in office. And he's trying to do that in order to get at Trump. He wants to put term limits for so-called Supreme Court justices, and he wants a binding code of conduct for the high court. Give me a break. And it stands little chance of going anywhere in a divided Congress, by the way. Crooked, cackling Kamala Harris, the so-called vice president, she endorsed Biden's calls for reforms. Give me a break. Reform yourselves. Saying the changes would, quote, restore confidence in the court. What a lie. And strengthen our democracy. Also a dumb lie. It's not a democracy. By the way, in a statement released by the campaign, that's what she said, former president, our greatest, Donald J. Trump, he slammed the proposal, calling it a typical Biden con, because Biden is a con man, also known as a phony politician, and so is cackling Kamala, a con man, woman, liar, lawyer. Anyway, North Korea. Meanwhile, in North Korea, new intelligence indicates North Korean leader Kim Jong-un's daughter. Did you know he has a daughter? Kim Ju-ae, A-E, is secretly undergoing succession training. Wow, feminist. To prime her for taking control of this secretive country. She's believed to be 10 to 12 years old and she's the second child of the North Korean leader. This is a historical precedent for Kim Jong-un to identify his successor so early on, because that's what his father Kim Jong-il did with him, according to analysts. The Kim's family's rule in North Korea stretches back to 1948, when Kim Il-sung came to power in the aftermath of the shameful World War II. South Korea's National Intelligence Service also believed Kim's health may have deteriorated. Oh, a pray for Kim Jong-un. With reporters saying that he has been showing symptoms of high blood pressure and diabetes. Wow, he is kind of fat. We wish him well. What a mess, huh? $175,000 is what Princess Leia's Return of the Jedi bikini thing recently fetched at an auction. The iconic golden bikini famously worn by that Carrie Fisher woman, the late, great Carrie Fisher woman. It has become a beloved costume among these scantily clad, not properly dressed Star Wars fans. It's also attracted criticism for sexualizing Carrie Fisher and her character. And she was the slave woman of Jabba the Hutt in that movie, you may recall. What a mess. Listen to this. We won, and everyone knows it. Does that sound like Trump? No, it's not Trump. It's Venezuela's opposition leader, Maria Corina Machado, rejecting Nicolas Maduro's re-election on Monday. Not to be confused with Nicolas Gonzalez, the American anchor baby, who won his election too, by the way. Protests, by the way, catch him at 4 p.m. Pacific time today. Not at 12, at 4 p.m. Pacific time. That's 6 Central, 7 Eastern is normal Nick stream time. So that's going to be kind of fun today. Joel Friday is going to be at 11, right after the Hake Report. And the Hake Report is happening after the JLP Peterson show. And so have fun in Venezuela, people. I'm James Hake. Now back to JLP, Hour 3.
Why history month? I'm gonna celebrate with my friends. It's what history month. So be sure to tell everyone there will always be different months to celebrate. This month's gonna be what history.
There will always be other months to celebrate, but this month will always be White History Month. Welcome, uniting the races with truth instead of dividing them with lies. We're also rebuilding the family by rebuilding the man. I am Jesse Lee Peterson. Welcome to the third hour of the show already. Believe it or not, you can get involved by calling 888-7753, 773-888-77-JESSE. My biblical question for this week, and it's a doozy. All right, get this off my face. It's a doozy. I'll try to get the grease off my face. Do you love the emptiness of not knowing who you are? Do you love the emptiness of not knowing who you are? Do ya? Do I have fuzzy stuff on my face? No? Okay. Do you love the emptiness of not knowing who you are? We have every way that you can watch and support the show listed on JesseLeePeterson.com/show. And don't forget to support us on social media, like ring the bell, subscribe, JLP Talk on X, and Jesse Lee Peterson on Instagram. All right, Jesse Lee Peterson on Instagram, JLP Talk on X. Do the social media thing. Also, to donate and have your comments read out loud, go to buymeacoffee.com/JLP Talk, buymeacoffee.com/JLP Talk, and Jesse Lee Peterson. No, Bond JLP Cash App. Bond JLP Cash App. So it is the last hour for the show today, Country and Western Tuesday, right? It is probably one of my favorite days. Country and Western because it's my favorite music, I think. It's close to it. Country and Western Tuesday. Bring back, oh, bring back my country to me. Bring back my country to me. Who let the dogs out? Amazing. Amazing. There are women who are working on themselves. They go to the Bond Fellowships. They're members of the Bond Fellowship. They go to the Women's Forum. Every third Thursday of the month, they're there. They're working on themselves around the world. I talk and counsel with men and women, but women who really, sincerely, they just didn't know. They didn't know they didn't know how they became evil and that they can overcome by forgiving their mothers. They didn't know they had become like their mothers. You become like what you hate. So even though they were feeling like their mothers, they didn't want to be like their mothers, and they noticed that they were. They're like, what the? I don't want to be like my mama, they say. And they're starting to overcome. This past Sunday in the fellowship, and you can podcast that if you didn't, you were not there or you didn't watch it live at rebuildingtheman.com/church. rebuildingtheman.com/church. And I talked about how in the Bible, God said to the man, when you get married, take your wife far away from her family and your family and start your own family. And I noticed that men don't do that for some reason. I know why. Well, I'm saying some reason to it. I already have the answer, but they won't do it. And if they are fortunate enough to move out of their mama house or her mother house, they move right down the road. They're right there. Oh, where your son and his wife live? Right over there. They're right down the block or right around the block. They're not far away from mama. And then I noticed that in my counseling and then seeing it around me, mama, grandmama, and other women, sometimes other women, the mother is always involved in the destruction of the son or daughter's marriage. She will destroy it. Anytime she is around, you can expect total destruction. And she'll make up reasons. She and your wife will say, oh, I need a babysitter. I need her to be here when I have my baby. Oh, I need a babysitter. And that's just a false excuse. Because if you're not ready to be your own babysitter, watch over your husband's children. You shouldn't get married to have children. Don't have them. Don't get married if you're not ready to take on that responsibility. And your mother will find whatever reason to be there, and the jealousy between your wife and your mother will be through the roof. Through the roof. Ain't no way out because they're both jealous over the inability to control you. Or let's say the mother controlling you. The wife going to be mad. The wife controlling you. The mother going to be mad. Not because they love you, but because they want to control you. And that's why God tell you to take your wife far away from your mother, because you ain't going to have no marriage around mama. It ain't going to work. And there's only so much catering you can do to mama after a while. You just get tired of catering to mama. You know what I mean? The spirit of the mother is evil. It is the spirit of Satan. Satan is the woman's god until the woman overcome it. And there are women overcoming it. They can. They're not stuck. But they got to forgive their mother so God can forgive them. And they got to return to their fathers. All who are born of the flesh must be born of the spirit. Ain't no way around it. Before I go quickly back to the phones, I want to give you a quick and a powerful one, I think. Example of a mother turned son against father, and it ends in murder. And in all honesty, even if it didn't end in physical murder, it's going to end in spiritual murder. Your mother will kill your soul and the soul of your children. She has no love. She can't help it. It's all about her. It's never about you or the children. It's about her. Son is charged with killing father after email hack. This is from NBC 10, Philadelphia. And I'm going to need the anchor baby to help me with this one.
Jesse.
What?
This story, if you'll allow
This is
me.
the anchor baby, the host of
what's
the
up?
American Anchor Baby Show at 4 p.m. Pacific time, starting today.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Jesse, I got to tell you about this story that I think might need your input, okay? So you got to tell me what you think if I'm looking at this wrong. And for this story, we're going to...
Everybody listen to this. Call your friends in the room right now.
Because I feel like you've been talking about this for a long time, and this is proof, and people would watch this and miss it. So we're gonna get into it here. For this story, we're going to Montgomery County, Pennsylvania. And this little area is about 40 miles northwest of Philadelphia. It's called Pottstown. It's a nice looking area, I think.
No wonder. This is from the Daily Mail. Wife leaves husband for being... No, that's not it.
Wait, what?
No, sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah, let me continue.
This is Philadelphia. Go
We're
ahead.
in Philadelphia for this one.
Yeah,
and
this is
this
another
area is
story.
called Pottstown. Check out this little house. You see this house?
This is the house that Jack built, y'all.
It's the house that...
It looks so homely and so nice off in the beautiful woods with landscaping around. It's nice.
Pottstown, Pennsylvania. This is the home of the Ingle family. And
It looks
this is...
like that house that boy came from that tried to kill Trump. It looked like the same house. I know it's not the same house. It looked like the same house. What the?
Someone get on that. And this house, this is the house that Arun Kumar and his wife Bhavna made a life for themselves after they immigrated to America from India decades before this story takes place. And the husband, he worked for Boeing as an engineer, very professional man, made a lot of money. That's the Boeing plant in Pennsylvania. And so he works for Boeing as an engineer, working on planes. And the wife, she owned a successful 7-Eleven. So they built a nice life together. They had 2 kids, a son,
So
then
she
a daughter.
was working and had kids, had 2 children, and a husband.
Well, specifically at the beginning, before the children, they worked hard to build the 7-Eleven. He worked as an engineer. And, you know, they went on to have employees at that 7-Eleven and all that.
Nice.
And so it's like the American dream, right? They came here, they built their life. It seems like an amazing life, right? White picket fence. So we go to January 3rd, 2008, and 22-year-old Parth, the son, is relaxing. He's relaxing with his girlfriend at his own apartment, 22 years old, living on his own, when he hears a knock at his front door, and it's his mother as she has her bags. Oh, Lord.
You run over there to the boy.
She shows up with her bags, and his mother comes in. She looks like she's been crying. By the way, all this is from NBC, Delco Times, stuff I collected from this show called Red Rum on Investigation Discovery and The Inquirer. So the mother comes in. She looks like she's been crying. She walks right in, says nothing. Like she says she has to stay. I have to stay here for some time. And she goes off to the guest room and shuts the door. Parth, the son, he has a bit of an idea of what could be going wrong, because years before this, their happy white picket family had a little bit of trouble. The wife, Bhavna, discovered that her husband was having an affair. And anyways, move a little quicker, he said he was really sorry, the father. He was truly sorry, and he really tried working it out with his wife.
I'm sorry, so sorry. Okay.
You got to wonder how that went, right? If
nice.
She really forgave him.
Yeah.
Because she eventually...
Women do not forgive.
And there's proof of this.
Yeah.
She does not forgive because she deep down stopped trusting him. She gets her son to put tracking applications on the father's computer and a GPS in the car.
Wow.
The son says that he felt like it was the only way his mother could feel okay in the relationship and to keep it together.
Mama's boy.
So he listens to her, and it just watches all his dad's emails, all of his activity. So back to 2008, the mother is spending the few days in the apartment, and one night the son overhears his mother on the phone. So he decides to investigate, spy on her, and he overhears something that shocks him: that his father took out a life insurance policy on his wife and kids, and he hears his mother tell whoever that she's on the phone with that she's afraid for her life. And so Parth, at this point, a lot's going through his head. He's remembering his father is not a good husband. He's remembering how the father left a whole bunch of tools on the bathroom when he was working on it, and it was so unlike him because he's like this engineer guy. Why would he leave all these tools everywhere? So a lot's going through his head. He finally confronts his mother and tells her, "I know what's up."
So the son confront the mother.
Correct.
After hearing this phone call.
A couple of days still after.
Okay.
Confronts her, says, "I know, so let's plan. Let's plan together what we got to do." They concluded, they go to the police, and the police are like, "What can we do?" He took out a policy on himself as well, not just you guys. And they find all this paperwork of him trying to create a passport, a fraudulent passport. So now they're worried. They're like, this guy's going to try and kill us, get the insurance money, and run from the country. But the police are like, we can't do anything. It's not illegal for him to have that paperwork. It's only illegal if he files it. And so they just sit back and watch. And the son just continues spying and spying and spying. And I'll move a little faster here, just a minute or two.
Yeah.
Turns out the father was involved in some sketchy business deal in India. And so this drives them crazy. This all comes to a head where the son finds some email where the father is talking to some family back in India. And he says that he's going to some funeral, but his own family's not invited. He's going alone. And he thinks this is it. This is the cover. He's going to go to India and kill us.
Then when the son is thinking about the father?
Correct.
Oh, okay.
He calls his mom. They make a plan. 9:15 p.m., January 20th. They go to confront him. And he arrives, and he talks to his father. He jumps in. He says, "I know what you've been doing, so you have a choice. Either you become a good family man and be faithful, or I'm going to the police." The father runs past him out of view. The son, suddenly thinking, is he going to get a weapon? He runs in after him. He sees his father looking at one of those tools he left, a big old pipe wrench, a big old nasty looking pipe wrench like this. And he thinks his father's going to hit him. So he grabs it first and beats his father to death.
Wow.
Anyways, the next morning, the mother shows up. She opens the door. She's like, "Hello?" She knows instantly something's wrong.
"Hello? Can you hear me?"
She goes into the main bedroom, sees the blood, sees the body, calls 911. But here's the kicker. to end it off, it would take police 4 years to piece together that they were right. He was having an affair. He did take out an insurance policy. He was trying for a fake identity to run out of the country, but he wasn't trying to kill his family. Turns out he was trying to fake his own death in India, leave a bunch of money for his family, and run off to India with his mistress. But they had it all wrong.
So he was trying to fake a fake death so he could leave money for his wife over here.
And his children.
And his children. And he was going to go to India with another woman.
Yeah. Leave this woman, leave them a bunch of money, and go off and find a little happiness on the side.
Wow.
And the mother employed her son, turned him against him, and he maintains that he really thought he was in danger. But everybody on the story is
always involved. I told you, it's all about their mama.
Here's the
soundbite from...
there's no soundbite to this.
Oh, it's not a soundbite?
No.
Oh, okay.
But this is the mother and son right there. That's Parth and his mother, Bhavna.
Well, the boy fat.
Yeah, he's a big guy. He's actually a big guy.
He wasn't hungry.
Definitely wasn't hungry.
Sex, lies, and
butter
audio
chicken?
tape.
Yep.
Wow.
Yeah, what do you think? People are saying, I was telling this to somebody, and they were like, I don't know. The father was, evil,
The
and he
mother's
got what he deserved.
always behind it. The son listened to the mama. He think the mama's in pain. What the? It's always the mother. And they do blame the father, but it's the mother. And the mother, because her nature is evil, she knows how to cover it up. Make it look. She play victim. That is an amazing story. So the boy's in jail now?
He's in jail. He got 33 months in jail, and the mother he ended up pleading guilty for manslaughter, and she pleaded guilty to conspiracy and got 10 months.
They only got that little?
30 months on one and 10 months on the other.
After allegedly killing the man?
Caving his face in until he was unrecognizable.
Wow. So he could probably be out of jail right now.
Maybe.
Yeah, because this was back, I'm
2008.
told, it was back in 2008. What a mess. Men, y'all better wake up before you break up and you lose. Amazing.
Men cheat to protect the feelings of the woman, and the women cheat to destroy.
Destroy the feelings of the man. What the amazing story, man. And the boy listened to his mama. He cared about mama. Mama was the victim, when she really was the villain.
She's probably kicking herself. She's like, wait, I was about to get paid and get rid of this guy I don't like.
She's like, what the? Amazing. Thank you, man. Amazing story. Nicholas is a first-time caller out of Virginia. Let's see here. Nicholas, welcome to the show. You're on the air. Hey, Nicholas.
Yes, sir.
Okay, I can hear you now. Go ahead.
First of all, man, it's an honor, and I appreciate you speaking what everybody else is thinking. So
right on. Thank you, man.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I got a question, man. I've been married for 7 years. We have kids. So I'm locked in the relationship, basically. And my question is, how do I not let my wife affect my emotions?
Good question. How many children you have?
We got 2.
And the way you do that is by blocking her out psychologically.
I do that, but I find myself by default going into like a numb state. And I don't think that's healthy.
What do you mean by numb state?
Like just so agitated and being conflicted with, I listen to you a lot, and I know that, alpha males are not supposed to have emotion and not let anything affect them.
Right.
It's just, where's the balance in being married and, because I don't believe in divorce. So being married and dealing with it.
You gotta, again, you block her out psychologically, meaning that you don't think about her. You don't be angry at her when she's going through her hell, when she's carrying on. You look at her like you're looking at a movie, and let her deal with her own hell. And and don't you be affected, because her hell is her hell, and she was already like that when you met her. And you were already in your hell when she met you. So two devils got together trying to get something from one another, and all they caught or catching is hell, right? Because they don't have love. And so, and now that you start working on yourself, you watch her going through her stuff, but don't get angry at her, so that you can overcome the spirit of anger inside of you. Don't blame her that you get angry, because you were already that way when she met you as well.
But how do I get to that place where I can just, take, everything that she's throwing at me and kind of find a balance in, just not expressing or tapping into that anger? Because
right. What
you know what I mean?
Have you gone and forgiven your mother?
Man, I knew you were going to ask me that, and honestly, I don't believe there's anything that I need to forgive my mother for.
But you're married to your mother. You married a woman that's just like your mother, and you're going through exactly what your father went through with your mother.
I believe that.
So how could you repeat the cycle and end up with a woman just like your mother if you don't resent your mother? You married, you are attracted to what you hate.
I think I did that subconsciously, but that makes sense.
Right. You did do it subconsciously. So you need to... Was your mother perfect?
Definitely not. That word is used so much nowadays. I'm not perfect. Nobody's perfect. We're all sinners saved by grace.
And so what things did she do or is still doing you wish that she would stop doing or saying or acting?
I can't think of nothing, Jesse, honestly.
Well, I want you, and have you forgiven your father?
My father basically was never there. He left when I was 13, and he's just not a family-oriented person. And I can feel that I'm a lot like him, so I understand, his selfishness. I totally understand it, and
Your father didn't leave you due to selfishness. Your father left you because he couldn't deal with your mother. And the feeling that you have like your father is your yearning for your father. You got to forgive.
I believe that.
You got to forgive your father before God, and your mother before God can forgive you and give you back yourself. You're not yourself.
What if you don't want forgiveness?
It's not for him. It's for you. It's for you to admit that you were wrong for judging him, and that you're sorry about that because you're suffering as a result of judging him and your mother. And God will forgive you. It's not, they don't have to want it. They don't have to understand it or pretend that they don't understand it. That's on them because their life is their life, but we're talking about your life, and your unforgiving spirit is what keeping you in the darkness.
I don't hold a grudge against him, man. I get what you're saying about calling him and forgiving him even though he doesn't want it. I guess I try to tell myself that I really don't care about it, but maybe deep down somewhere.
You do.
I mean,
I promise you do care. That's what's missing. That emptiness that you have is the love of your father. You're yearning for your father. And nothing is going to fulfill that until you forgive your father for not being there to protect you from your mother.
So the main thing you're trying to tell me is I need to forgive my father. So what about me feeling like there's nothing for my mother to forgive?
I want you to do the silent prayer so you can see that you do resent your mother, just that you so identify with her because you have believed her lie that she was a victim, and you don't see that she was a victimizer. She was never a victim. And you have identified with your mother, so the idea of having to forgive her, you can't imagine doing that.
Okay, that makes sense, man. So you think if I forgive my mother and my father, that all will be well?
Well, what's going to happen is the woman that you're with now, you're going to deal with her perfectly. She would never be able to emotionally or mentally or emotionally bother you at all, because you're going to overcome the mental and the emotions when you forgive your mother, because right now your mindset and those emotions are just like your mother. You have your mother's identity. And so you're dealing with this woman, and it's like two lesbians together.
So when you say perfectly, you mean the biblical definition, as in complete?
I like complete, yes. Meaning that you will have, you will overcome the world by overcome thoughts and emotions. And so if you overcome the world can't touch you. It can't get to you.
Okay. Well, man, I appreciate you, and keep doing what you're doing, man. I enjoy, looking at your stuff all the time, man. I really appreciate it.
Thank you. Are you doing the silent prayer?
I don't know what that is yet, man. I heard somebody on a previous call say that it was online.
Yeah, go to rebuildingtheman.com/prayer. Rebuildingtheman.com/prayer. And I want you to start doing that so you can start living from within. You can see what's going on with you from within, and it's going to cause you to see what's going on with every human being on this side of heaven. You're going to understand, but you won't judge them. You would know what's going on with them, but you won't resent them. You're going to be free.
Man, I look forward to that, man. I'm going to check that out.
Yeah, but you got to, start with the silent prayer. See the little anger and those things that you have against your mother and how she's turned you away and recreated you her image by playing victim. And God will forgive you. You're going to have a life. And then your wife, when she sees that she's losing control over you, all hell going to come out of her.
That's right.
She's going to...
No, when she sees that when I do try to not have any emotion toward what she's saying, It makes her madder and madder.
Absolutely. Because she's losing control over you, and she can't handle that. She hate the control that she has over you, and she's going to go nuts. And if she find out that you're working on yourself, oh, my God, it's going to all come out, but it won't bother you because you can take it or leave it. It's like you're going to see that you married the wrong woman. She's insane, but you'll see what to do about it.
Okay, yeah, because she's definitely the epitome of a statistical woman.
Yeah, but you were trying to get something from her. You were trying to get love, and women don't have love to give. The love of a woman comes from the father, from her dad, and then from his husband, and the husband get his love from God. And that's the love.
She don't have a relationship with her father.
Right.
She doesn't have
you're really in trouble.
What do you think about me going to her father and trying to repair that?
You can't. Only if she want to overcome, because she may love her misery. She may love her hell. And if you try to help a person that's in hell, they're going to destroy you because they don't want heaven. They love hell.
You're spot on, man.
Hold
you
on.
Always are.
Hold on 1 minute, buddy. Let me take a quick break. We'll finish up. The treasure chest is now open on D Live. I'll be back in a moment, straight to the phones and super chats. So I asked the question, are you better than a child molester? I've discovered over the 30 years of counseling, the one thing that's missing, and I think because it's not taught in the homes or talked about, we don't have examples of it, right, is love. Our theme this year is to bring back Christianity, to love God with all our heart, soul, and might, our neighbor as ourselves, and to endure. And when you're in a fallen state, people will judge the molester but think they're better than the molester. And I ask, well, why do you think you're better? When I realized it doesn't matter what you think about yourself or how much you have or don't have or how you accomplish things in life or don't. If you have no love, you have nothing. Okay, check out Punchie TV. Our own network, Punchie, Punchie, Punchie.tv. Watch the network on our own platform now. Isn't that amazing? Thank you all. And we're going to build it. We want to build it up to 24-hour talk. All men. All the time. All right? Excuse me. And it's going to happen come hell or high water. And thank you all for supporting it. Also, the Hake report is coming up at the top of this hour. TheHakeReport.com at 9 a.m. from 9 to 11 a.m. Pacific time. And James Hake is on fire. You don't want to miss it. And at 11 a.m., Joel Friday TV. He black, Joel Friday TV, on fire. Really? Oh, did you hear him yesterday? What the? Joel Friday TV. And then at 4 p.m. today, 4, listen closer, not 12, but 4 p.m., the American Anchor Baby. The American Anchor Baby at 4 p.m. Pacific time. All right? I want to go to the busy phones, and then we're going to get to your super chats and all that. I want to go back to Nicholas, a first-time caller out of Virginia. Hey, Nicholas.
Yes, sir.
One other quick advice I want to give you, but do what you want. I want to encourage you to start the silent prayer so you can see how much you have identified with your mother, that you don't see she's recreated your image. That's why you can't see what she's done wrong, right? And then forgive your father and mother. Do the silent prayer and quietly work on yourself. Don't even tell your wife you're working on yourself, because the hell in her is going to try to stop you from going into heaven, working on yourself. And she
likes listening to you too, and I'm not even going to tell her that I spoke to you.
That's right. So is she working on herself?
No, she's not. She's a big procrastinator. She just keeps procrastinating, man. She claims she's working on herself, but she's not.
Oh, okay. Here's what I want to. Here's what my last advice, I think, is from this day forward. This day forward, never, ever, 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 but never, ever, ever, never argue with her again. Not only with her, with anyone. Stop arguing with the devil in your own imagination, in your thoughts, and stop arguing with the devil inside of other human beings. Because the devil wants a distraction. He wants you fighting with him. Don't ever, you make your point and be done with it. Do not argue, all right?
That's a tough one, man, but I'm going to definitely work at it.
And why is it tough?
Man, I know you call out beta males, and I definitely don't consider myself one. But, being that I'm married to her, I've been married for 7 years, with her for 14. It's hard to not let her affect my emotions, man.
Are you your emotions?
Am I my emotions?
Yes.
No.
Then why do you call them my emotions?
That's a good question. They're not my emotions.
So then why do you say it's hard to affect my emotion? And if you're not your emotion, how can she affect something that's not you?
That's a good point.
No, that was a question.
Well, now that you brought it to my attention, it really makes me think about it, because I think people's thoughts are of the devil. And considering myself, well, knowing that I'm a Christian, that definitely, makes me want to take a look at that. And that might be part of, me working on myself. That might be the first thing I need to work on.
And are you your thoughts?
No.
So then there's nothing there for her to affect. You have identified with the thoughts and feelings, and you've been calling them you, not realizing they are little demons that you have identified with when you were traumatized by your mother. You have forgotten who you are. You have amnesia from the trauma that came from your mother.
Okay.
And you're calling everything you that's not you. You're not your thoughts. You're not your emotions, the so-called good or the bad. And you're not your body. And so when this woman is trying to upset you, you just watch it. And as the feelings come up, because you're in a thought, you have the feeling, just watch them and let the light of God, just watch them. Don't run away from them by watching TV or try to get a meal or yell at her or something, right? You watch them, and the Father will save you from them. He's trying to save you from that, those demons that you've been calling you.
So I need to basically disassociate myself with those emotions and just turn to God.
You need to watch them and don't call them you, and the darkness will be destroyed by the light.
Okay. I appreciate that, man.
You're welcome. So do the silent prayer. Forgive your mother for recreating her image. Your mother is not what you think she is. And even you should ask your father, why did you leave me with my mother? What was that all about? And you'll get a better understanding of him. And that will help and cause you to forgive him. You're going through the same hell that he's went through with your mother and going through whatever other woman he got with.
Yeah, he's been married 4 times since.
See there? He's looking for a mama's love. He needs to forgive his mother.
Well, she's dead now, but
he still needs to forgive her. Though she's dead, he still needs to forgive her so that God can forgive him and make him free from that spirit of evil.
Gotcha. Yeah, because when you forgive, like you said, it's for you.
Yes, absolutely.
Got it, man.
Let me know how it goes.
I will, man, and keep calling out beta males.
All right. Don't be a beta.
All right, buddy.
All right, buddy.
All right, man.
Take care. 888-7753-773. Let me go to BLAQROSE. There's a line open, 888-77-JESSE. BLAQROSE, you're on the air. Thanks for calling.
Grand Rising, Jesse.
I'm sorry?
Hold on. Wait a minute. Don't hang up.
I ain't gonna hang up. Hold on a minute.
I'm trying to.
Okay, don't go nowhere. Here, let me know when you're ready. All right? Let me go to Robert from New Mexico. Robert, welcome to the show. You're on the air.
Hey, how you doing, Jesse?
All this well, Robert. Thanks for calling.
I was waiting on us to get connected, and I heard the last guy talking about, trying to overcome while he's married, and I just found a verse while I was waiting for you. This out of Corinthians. It says simply that a married man is concerned about the affairs of this world and how he can please his wife. So it tells you that you can't overcome the world if you're married, and it's a bit perplexing to me. Can you shed some light on that?
But you can overcome the world if you're married. It's just that you need to take your thought off the world and your marriage and let the light guide you, and the light will cause your marriage to work.
Well, the light, in fact, if you're unequally yoked, could make you get a divorce, and then you could overcome. That's what I just went through 2 years ago.
Well, whatever. And you're right in that.
Easy.
And you're right, if you're in the light and you're guided by the light, you're absolutely right. Whatever will be, you will see what to do. Even if it means that you have to walk away from that marriage, you'll walk away from it without any thoughts or feelings about it, period.
And that's what happened after 23 years and one child together. And I want, you're hitting the last 2 shows, you're hitting so many points I've been going through. especially about the mom thing with the wife thing.
Yeah.
And I'm under the impression from hearing you talk for many years now that if we can forgive people in person, we should, right?
Yes. Absolutely.
So I want to.
You should face them because, especially the mother, men and women are afraid of their mother. They're afraid to face their mothers.
Yeah.
All men
Yeah, they
and
don't
all
wanna hurt
women.
them.
Because the devil tells them that, oh, you're going to hurt your mother. You're going to hurt her feelings. She did the best she can do. When in reality, you're afraid to face her.
Well, in my case, I look at women as being the weaker vessel, and I just really didn't want to hurt my mom, you know?
What do you
I'm
mean by
not
the
scared of
weaker
her.
vessel?
Well, they're so emotional that's what leads them. That's their God. And so, you know, my mom, we grew up in downtown Detroit and feeding the homeless 3 times a week and doing missionary trips. And we did it because of my mom. And I believe it was, like righteous, you know, it wasn't out of a thrill, you know, she would,
Yes, it
have
was
homeless
not
people.
righteous at all.
Well, she had them living with us, and they stole her wedding rings, stole her truck, and
And that's why
and
she did it. She loved the pain that she got. Oh, I'm so nice. I'm so good. I'm such a good woman. I'm a good mother. I thought everybody was like me. And so she bring them
think she did
home.
it out of guilt.
She bring them home to live with her. Then they steal from her, and she judge them. Oh, I thought they were like me.
Yeah.
It was all for thrills. It was not.
You could be right, but I have some inside baseball on it. And she had before she came to Christ, she had an abortion, and I think it was out of guilt. And but you could be right. I don't really know. I never asked her.
Is she still living?
Oh yeah, she's 80. She moved from Detroit to where I live in New Mexico, and got involved in my marriage, and that was my second kind of thing I wanted to bring up.
Why did you let her move that close to you?
No. I mean, the thing is, I was running a rafting company out here, and my wife was working for me, and we needed somebody to watch her child, and they just said retired and want to get out of the city in Detroit. You can't blame them. And buy a mountain home about 7 miles from me. And, you know, they watch my kid daily, and they have a great relationship with them.
Yeah, big mistake. Robert, I got to run, but thank you, though. I appreciate it. James, what you saying? You text me? Thank you, Robert.
I texted you the from the Bible, 1 Corinthians 7:32 through 35. Yeah, the mic is on.
Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, you don't hear me.
No, but it's fine.
Okay, but it's going.
Okay.
In the King James Version, I believe it's Paul writing this to the Corinthians. But I would have you without carefulness. He that is unmarried careth for the things that belong to the Lord, how he may please the Lord. But he that is married careth for the things that are of the world, how he may please his wife. There is difference also between a wife and a virgin. The unmarried woman cares for the things of the Lord, that she may be holy, both in body and spirit. But she that's married cares for the things of the world, how she may please her husband. I speak this for your own profit, not to put a snare upon you, but for that which is comely, that you may attend upon the Lord without distraction.
Okay, nice. Thank you. Yeah. Let me go to BLAQROSE. Thank you, Robert. I appreciate it, buddy. BLAQROSE. Let's try it again.
Grand Rising, Jesse. Thank y'all for taking my call.
You said what?
Grand Rising.
What does that mean? The KKK coming?
That means good morning.
Oh, good morning.
But anyway, yeah. Well, you only have today and tomorrow for White History Month.
Amazing. So July will always be White History Month.
White History. So would you do me a favor and do one on honor Margaret Sanger so you can at least let the whites know to stop killing white babies and stop going to the blacks to have kids. What you think about that?
And what do you mean by going to the blacks to have kids?
Yeah, you know, they're going over to the blacks to have kids. That's what they're doing. So you need to at least let them know to continue to keep making white babies.
Yeah, I tell white people all the time.
Mixed babies. And leave the blacks alone. Tell them to leave the blacks alone. That's all. So that'll be good for you to do one on Margaret Sanger about how eugenics was destructive for blacks, but now the whites are getting more abortions than blacks because I see a lot of black babies being born and not a lot of white babies. But the whites are going over to the blacks to make babies now.
I agree with you that we definitely need more white babies because if the statistics are right, the white will become the minority in this country, and the people of color will become the majority. And once that happens, it's all over for America. America will become a complete ghetto. It is over.
Okay. Have you buried the hatchet?
So I agree with.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I agree with you about that, and I don't want to honor Margaret Sanger, but I know that she believed in eugenics, and
it's destruction for So
and she
maybe you should do something about
and she believes that the blacks were the underclass, and at the time they were having a bunch of babies in the South, according to the report. I write about her in my book, The Antidote.
Okay.
Healing American from the Poison of Hate, Blame, and Victimhood, The Antidote. But thank you for that, Black Rose. I appreciate it. Super chat. Super.
Super chats.
Michelle bought 5 coffees. Love when you sing. I was singing with you. Musical note and electric guitar emoji.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Thank you, Michelle.
I like your idea, Black Rose. So we need some white babies. I totally agree. Go ahead.
Andrew donated a Cash App donation tip saying, Kamala, tub of greens.
Thank you.
Donnie Gro's idea with a Rumble rant. Happy White History Month.
Happy White History Month. July is White History Month. July just feels white. Amazing. Thank you.
Base Nation with a very generous Rumble rant saying, Punchie TV's down. Next up, Punchie app.
Punchie TV. Oh, we got the Punchie TV.
Punchie TV now. Oh. Next up, Punchie app.
That's right. Nice idea, I think.
Nice.
Is that a nice idea?
That's what the Punchie TV is meant to be. It's a web app.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so you don't have to download your own app. You can just use it kind of like how other people have done it so that you can watch both online and through pretend like it's an app.
Punchie.
That's right.
Punchie.tv. Thank you.
Shout out to the top contributors on D-Live, Potleaf, Evgeny Crosby. I have books that are amazing, Taking Care of Business, and the rest of the supporters. Thank you, guys, over on the D-Live crew. C with a coffee. Good morning, Jesse.
Good morning.
Them Indians be scamming just like them Nigerians, she says.
The Indians?
India people, I think.
Oh.
They know the system in America and they dare to take advantage. They're not afraid. They know computer and accounting. White people trust Indians more than black people from any other country, but they're just from a third world country like Africa. They know how to scam, manipulate, and they got a mouth on them, too. Laughing face emoji.
Thank you, Sion. I appreciate it. What now?
Chris says with 5 coffees, I don't know, JLP. Something seems off. I love you, brother. I don't know when that came in. Let's see. I don't know what he's referring to. 12 minutes ago.
Thank you. Amazing. Thanks for looking out for me.
Indeed.
Yeah.
And thank you, guys. I do believe that is all for now.
Amazing. Thank you so much. I do appreciate it, folks. Thank you for your support. Let me go all the way over to Mommy Africa, South Africa, and talk to Umso. 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 Umso, welcome to the show. You're on the air.
Hi, JC. It's such an honor to speak to you, and thank you so much for your content.
Absolutely.
It's honestly changing my life slowly but surely.
Right on, man. Stay with it. Stay with it. Stay with it.
I have 2 questions for you.
Okay.
The first one is about judging myself and others, right? So whenever I judge myself or others or do something coming from hate, I recognize that it's wrong, and I try not to judge myself by recognizing it and moving on. But the devil is always in my thoughts, posing as the recognition, to the point where I don't know if it's me recognizing it's the devil himself. And then when I just continue to recognize and move on from it, I don't know if I'm actually believing the thoughts or if I'm actually recognizing it.
Well, number one, there is no such thing as you judging yourself. There's no you there to judge. And so the devil is playing a trick on you by making you think that you're judging yourself. Let's say you did something quote unquote wrong, and the devil said, oh, look, you said you weren't going to do that anymore. You did it, right? It's all a lie.
Yeah.
It was never you that did it, and so there is no you to judge. So and I'm telling you, one of the worst mistakes you can make in life is to think that you're judging yourself. You're not judging you. There's no you to judge. So when the thoughts come and the feeling come with it, let it pass. Don't call it you. Don't call it you that you're judging, and let it pass. You'll be fine. Don't identify with it at all. Let it pass.
So even when the thoughts are telling me that I'm recognizing it, I mustn't identify with the thoughts telling me that I'm recognizing it.
Yeah, even when the thoughts are telling you that, you recognize it, just see it, but don't do anything about it. And the Father, the Spirit of God, love will save you from the not you. You're not those words, you're not the voices, you're not the feelings. There is no you to judge. And in all honesty, the real you, and you just have forgotten who you are because you have amnesia from the trauma of your mother, so you forgot who you are. But the real you cannot, will not, is never going to be able to do anything wrong. You have never sinned. You're not a sinner nor a saint. All of your sins have been forgiven. So you have no sins. The only thing you've done wrong was to resent your mother and father, and you forgave. Once you do that, you're free. So there is no you to judge you. The thoughts are lying to you.
Okay.
What do you think about that?
I agree. And like literally, what you're saying to me is what you said to a caller. They made I don't know, it was a couple of months ago, and it was a woman, and I related to her so much, to what you said to her so much about not identifying with them. I've been trying that, and slowly it's going away.
Yes.
But sometimes I do get impatient. I'm like, I've been trying, and I'm on and off with the silent prayer, and I know how big you are on that, and I do believe it does work. But it gets so much harder when I start doing silent prayer. I mean, I can see the change, but the thoughts get louder and louder.
And you know why?
Because they're trying to bring me back.
Yeah, they don't want to depart from your body and mind. They live in you, and they're getting louder because they're screaming at the light that's in you, and they don't want to leave you. That's why they're screaming. Let them scream, but don't call it you.
Okay, thank you so much, Jesse. And what you said resonated with me so much, because last year I went through like a bad relationship and a bad breakup and all that. And within it, I recognized, like, I understood my mom and dad immediately. Like, I understood why they did all the things they did, even though I didn't even really know what happened between them.
Yes.
I just understood them, and like,
yeah.
A month later, me and that girl broke up, and like 2 weeks later, I called my mom and I forgave her. And when she didn't take accountability, like, I never even got angry at her. I just understood why she was so in denial, even though, I mean, I didn't want to be as in denial as her, but I just understood it, and I didn't get angry at her. I just forgave her, and like, my life changed. But I never knew it was because I forgave my mom. I thought that it was because of the relationship and the breakup. But after I heard your message this year, like, I understood, oh, that's why everything in my life changed. In school, I became better. In fighting, I became better. Everything in my life, like, I was just more clearer. I wasn't always as indecisive as I was. Like, everything just became more clearer. And it's because, like, even when I was a young age, they always told me that I hate my dad, and I always loved him. And my family members told me, no, when you're older and we tell you all the things he did, you hate him also. And then I grew up, and they told me those things even when I was young. And I was like, no, in my mind, I never said it to them because I knew they would take it personally. But I was like, he never did all those things to me. Like,
Yeah.
he's always been a great dad to me. I've always loved him. He's always
That's
loved me.
right. Yeah.
And they always said that, oh, my dad always did way more for me than he did for all the other kids. And I recognize that it's because they hated him, because they
Let me
was
do
my
this.
mom and dad.
I'm running out of time. Will you call me again?
Okay, when should I call you again?
Whenever you want to. It's just that I'm running out of time right now. The clock gonna cut us
Okay.
off in a minute. Just stay with the silent
Okay,
prayer.
okay.
Watch those thoughts. Don't call them you, and you'll be fine. Call me. Let me know how it goes. All right.
Okay. Thank you, Jason. Thank you so much.
You're welcome, buddy. Amazing. All the way from Mommy Africa, South Africa. It's the same spirit everywhere. In every human being. You must forgive. You must be born again. Men and women, male and female. You must be born again. It's a spiritual battle, folks. I'm telling you. It is in you. You're your world. A Hake Report coming up now. The Hake Report. They enjoy Friday TV at 11 a.m. and at 4 p.m. The American Anchor Baby. 4 p.m. Get on that straight and narrow. You can't take anyone with you on this journey. It's a journey you got to travel alone. You can't make your wife, your husband, your children, nobody go with you. You got to travel this alone, but you will not regret it if you stay there. And thank you all for your support, your super chats and all that. Tomorrow is Wednesday, Manhood Hour. Take care, folks. To the callers, K-Bond, and a first-time call out of California, Tony out of Pennsylvania, and the call that just dropped. I'm out of time. I'll be back tomorrow. Have a good day, y'all. Thank you. Amazing. I read or heard that some Republicans are starting to pull their advertisements from Google or whomever, right? Because so many conservatives are being shut down, discriminated against, shadow banned, and all that kind of stuff. So conservatives are starting to fight back. It is happening to us too. I'm just taking it one day at a time. But you can go to JLPtalk.com and find all the ways to support us. You can check out rebuildingdemand.com and support our nonprofit organization. You can call 800-411-BOND, 800-411-2663. And don't forget to like, subscribe, follow, share, and Sunny. And also, we have thefallenstate.tv. Ring the bell. So I asked the question, are you better than a child molester? I've discovered over the 30 years of counseling, the one thing that's missing, and I think because it's not taught in the homes or talked about, we don't have examples of it, right, is love. Our theme this year is to bring back Christianity, to love God with all our heart, soul, and might, our neighbor as ourselves, and to endure. And when you're in a fallen state, people will judge the molester but think they're better than the molester. And I ask, well, why do you think you're better? When I realized it doesn't matter what you think about yourself or how much you have or don't have or how you accomplish things in life or don't. If you have no love, you have nothing. I recommend you get a copy of my book, From Rage to Responsibility. I write about how the spirit of anger was taken away from me 29 years ago. I forgave my mother who tried